Hey everyone, welcome to another video. This video is going to be my roundup of new Essence and Catrice. Essence and Catrice recently did their fall winter update, and I also got a few limited edition things I wanted to update you on. So it's not a bunch of products, but I think you're gonna be interested to hear my thoughts. So let's get into it. So some of these products actually are really nice, really good, and some of these products kind of disappointed me and I wasn't too happy with these. So let's first get this one out of the way. I already reviewed the highlighter from this collection. I actually have it over here. I really like the highlighter. It's beautiful. It's a really nice one. I actually have used it quite a bit, but I took some extra time to review this because I was really excited about this in my first video. And at this point, I'm a little bit like 50-50 on it. The reason why is because I quite like the quality of this palette. It is a cute palette. We have some different colors. It is an interesting palette in a way, but I do end up doing the same look, and I feel like the look that I did in the first video is a really beautiful look. I really like it. If I do it, I feel very pretty. I think it is a nice palette for that look, but beyond that, I'm not really going beyond that. It doesn't really inspire me to do more than that. I feel like that is about it. Because we only have one deepening up shade, I feel like I keep going back to this brownish pink look with a little bit of that grayish green in the outer corner. So I really like it for that look, but for me personally, I don't feel like it's super versatile, even though it has different shades in it. Because we only have that one green to deepen up, I feel like all the looks kind of end up looking the same. I could really try and do different kinds of looks, but it just doesn't inspire me that much beyond that look. So for me it's a one look palette, and I like it for that. It's a cute palette. I would recommend it if you think this is a cute color story, because the mattes blend well, they're quite pigmented, the shimmers are not the best in the world, but they are decent and it all works together quite well. I, in a way, still understand my excitement about this palette. When I first did the first impression, I was like, this is a good one. And especially for Essence, I'm really excited that they came out with something with an eyeshadow palette that is actually good. And I actually have another eyeshadow by Essence that I actually like in this video. But when a brand like this does something actually good, I'm a little bit more excited than other brands where I kind of expect it. So that also plays a role. So if you can snag this on a deal, it's already really affordable, but I've seen this on sale. If you can snag this for a few euros, you think the color story is cute, I would recommend it. It is a cute palette. It's not the best ever, and yeah, for me, I feel like I've done the look that I like with it, because I could decide to not use the green, but then it's kind of like neutral, kind of soft. It would just be more basic and not as exciting. So that is kind of my opinion on it. And in the end, it's really up to you. If you feel like this is worth it for you, if you really like the look that I did in the first impression, I will link it somewhere like in the eye or down below. You can check that look out. I like it. And then, okay, let's talk about the other Essence eyeshadow palette. I actually feel kind of similar about this one. So this eyeshadow palette is a cool toned eyeshadow palette, and I actually did a look with this one yesterday, and I'm just showing you some footage of this one, me applying this one, but also some other products. Just wanted to show you in action a little bit because I didn't do a haul with these products this time. I am just doing this update, so then you kind of get a feel for the product a little bit more. But this is a really nice cool toned color story, and I actually think the quality in this palette is very good. The shimmers are quite nice and shiny. I like the colors in here. The mattes blend out well. The deepest shade maybe is not the deepest creamiest shade I've ever seen in my life, but you can definitely get quite a smoky look with this palette, and every time I've done a look with this palette, I've been really impressed. I've really liked it. I've actually used it like 5 times. A lot. So it's a really nice cool tone palette for like 3 euros, 4 euros, like very affordable, very travel friendly. It's cute packaging. I like the kind of hollow details. I don't have a lot of complaints about this. Like the quality is good, but I do feel like even if I try to switch things up a little bit with this palette, I do end up doing the same look over and over and over again. So it's kind of like what you would expect. It's a small palette with a cool toned color story, and that is what you get, and that is the kind of look that you will have. And let me just quickly swatch these shimmers. They are nice and shiny, not like super sparkly or anything, but you can definitely see the shine when you apply it to the eyelid. In this lighting it's a bit hard to show you, but we have kind of like a lighter gray that is a bit more warm, a cooler toned gray, and then we have this kind of old gold, almost bronzy shade, and I feel like that really adds some spice, some interest to this palette. Just breaks it up a little bit. It's not another gray, so I really like that about the palette. I'll quickly swatch these mattes as well, because I have not swatched these anywhere on my channel. So we do have some nice variety here. This middle matte, I don't use it a lot because I feel like it's a little bit on the light side, but these mattes, they actually work quite well. Okay, I have not been very smart with how I have swatched these. Okay, so you can see that the lighter one, it doesn't really show up. There's something there. Wow, I am great at swatching. Like this is amazing. Live swatching, I feel like I found my calling. Okay, so the shimmers are very nice and shiny. The mattes, I feel like the lighter one is nice to blend out, but it doesn't really work on its own on the crease. You could use it for an all matte look. On the lid, you could use it like that. So it is a nice palette. I would recommend it, especially for the price. Really easy to travel with. I took it with me on the weekend to Madrid. Yeah, it's good. It's good. And it would also be quite a nice dupe for the Colourpop Dead Stove palette. It's not that they're exactly the same colors, but it's definitely a dupe the vibe. Very similar vibe. So I'm actually pretty impressed with these Essence eyeshadow palettes here, but if I could choose like what I would use the most and what is most like user friendly and what works the best with my makeup style right now, I think I would go for this one. But there's just something about that green over here that is really nice as well. Maybe I could kind of combine these palettes. I think that would be pretty cool. I think I'm gonna try that. I think that would add some nice variety and a little bit of interest to these palettes. Okay, let's move on to the Catrice Fall in Colors limited edition. The video I did on this was actually quite recently, but I've been going into these products quite a bit because I really like them. So first, the Fall in Colors Baked Bronzing and Highlighting Palette. The swatches of this, all the swatches, close-ups, me actually applying, it's all in the video, so you can check that one out. I will link it. So this one has 4 baked products. We have 3 highlighters, 1 bronzer. So I am using this in the demo as well for this video. The bronzer is a little bit more warm on my skin than it actually looks in the pan. So it looks a bit more neutral, cool, but it's quite a warm bronzer, so keep that in mind. But I do like it. It blends well. It has that baked product natural sheen that I really like. No shimmer, no glimmer, just a nice natural glow to it. And the highlighters, I really love these highlighters. They are a baked formula, but they kind of look creamy, and they look kind of creamy in a way that is almost like a Colourpop Super Shock highlighter. And we have kind of like a lilac one, champagne, and a peach, and I've used all of these a bunch because they are very shiny, very flattering. They just look amazing on the skin, and there's just something very sophisticated about them. But there's still some sort of glimmer, shimmer, not really shimmer, but a wet look to them because they're kind of creamy. That makes me really love this palette. Everything in this palette I really like. The packaging is amazing. The price is amazing. This is, I think, my favorite Catrice face palette. Even though it's not like complete, because we have 1 bronzer, 3 highlighters. It's a little bit odd in a way. I think it would have been nice maybe if it was like a complete thing, but Of course, they want to switch it up now and then because they usually do like a bronzer, 2 highlighters and a blush. So they did something a little bit different, but I like all the products in here. Really impressed, especially with the highlighters. I feel like if you're in Europe, you want to try something kind of similar to the Colourpop Super Shock highlighters, but you don't want to pay like the shipping and the taxes and things like that. This is a good way to kind of try it out. It's not exactly the same because this is not actually putty, but the way it eventually looks on the skin, very beautiful. Then I think my favorite Catrice eyeshadow palette so far in my life, and I have tried so many Catrice eyeshadow palettes. I mean, so many. This is the Fall in Colors eyeshadow palette, and this is such a beautiful fall eyeshadow palette. We have a bunch of different shades. We have berry vibes, we have neutral, more brown tone, neutral shades, we have a pop of orange. But the thing that really pulls me in with this one, really makes me excited, is that this one has a very beautiful shimmer formula that is really textured, really glimmery, shimmery, shiny. It is just that kind of special formula that we see in a lot of eyeshadow palettes and that we see in a lot of indie brands, that just has the dimension and the sparkle. We have a bunch of those shades in here, but also the mattes blend very well. The deeper mattes, they are really nice to blend out to kind of deepen looks. I feel like these deep purples, they work very well. I've done a bunch of different looks with these deeper ones and more soft ones, and I think this is a really cute palette. Like, some of the shimmers are a little bit softer, but if you kind of combine them with the shimmers, you can get a really interesting look. But if you use them on their own, they're a little bit satiny, but they're still pigmented, and I think you can just get really beautiful, amazing looks with this eyeshadow palette. I really like it. I'm just really impressed, and I haven't really found any dots in here. I feel like I can do a really beautiful, nice look every time, so I would highly recommend it. The packaging of this is also very nice, so that makes me very excited about it too. Then something I'm kind of disappointed in. So I already told you in my nail polish declutter collection video that I bought this one, this Brave Metallics nail polish by Catrice. It's like their new metallics nail polish line. They like to do these little lines within their nail polish collection. I was really excited about this because I've been looking for a metallic blue nail polish for a long time. Used to have one, lost it, really sad about it, and I am wearing this one right now, and from a distance it actually looks the way I want this to look. It actually looks like what I have in mind, but when you see this a little bit more up close, you will see that there's a lot of bubbles. It's very uneven, and I painted my nails yesterday evening, well before I went to bed. Usually my nails are dry in like 15 minutes. I use the Express Dry nail drops from Essence. They work very well. Usually after 15 minutes I can just go about my day doing things, and my nails got ruined. Like this nail got completely ruined in the night. The nail polish totally shifted and just moved around on my nails, and then there are some bald spots and some spots where there's a lot of bunched up nail polish. And yeah, I hope you can kind of tell, but it is just very messy and it didn't dry down. I feel like it's still not really dry, and when I look at it right now, it just looks a little bit odd. By the way, I did put a little bit of holographic top coat over top of it. I don't know if you can see it. If you saw it just now, I kind of tried to save it with that. Didn't really work out. So I usually really love the Catrice nail polishes. They work very well for me. I've never had this issue, but now it just looks so messy. It took such a long time to dry, and even if it had dried sooner, I don't think this looks very good. So for me, this is just an okay nail polish. Maybe you can try to make it work, but for me, it's not really worth it. I'm not very impressed. Alright, the Essence Made Me Glow Baked Highlighter. So this is like their renewed, revamped nude highlighter that used to be so like raved about on YouTube, but by the time people raved about it, it wasn't even available anymore in the Netherlands and in Germany. I've looked for it, it wasn't. So it was just available in the United States. but now it is back here. And to be fair, the first few times that I've used it, I didn't really get it. I was just like, it's too subtle for me, it's not that interesting. But when I used it for the demo, I actually thought it looked really nice, very natural, still very glowy, but just a little bit in a subdued way. So I feel like there is a time and place for this. For me, often it feels a little bit too subtle, but if you like a really natural highlight, a really natural glow, then this is actually really nice. And I feel like there are gonna be times where I'm gonna be reaching for this because I want something like that. But to be honest, if I hadn't known that so many people love this, I wouldn't have guessed it. Like, applying this, I wouldn't have thought like this is a hype product, everybody's gonna be so amazed by this. I thought it was just a nice highlighter, just a nice natural highlighter. So I feel kind of happy that I finally found out, but I also feel a little bit like I was very influenced by the hype, and I feel like this maybe is a little bit overhyped. Like, I jumped on the hype train, I was like, wow, it's gonna be so amazing, and I was waiting for this to come back for me to be able to buy it, and now that I have it, it's kind of like, okay, nice, it's a nice highlighter. Then I have 4 lip products here left in front of me. First up, the Essence Algae Lip Oil with Hydrating Effect. I've used this a bunch, it's very hydrating. Smells a little bit watery, maybe a little bit odd. It's not like the perfect scent, but I feel like it's the best one of the lip oils by Essence. This is my favorite one. Looks blue in the tube, is clear on the lips. I think it's a nice one. I think it is very hydrating, very similar in formula, like the same formula as the other ones, but just smells just a little bit better and doesn't make your lips bright pink, which I like. Then we have the Essence Extreme Care Hydrating Glossy Lip Balm. The first time that I tried it, I got really scared and I didn't want to use it again because it looks so pigmented, and it is a bit too pigmented, which makes it look kind of weird, kind of uneven. It kind of goes into the lip lines. It just looks very odd if you use this like in full strength, full opacity. In the demo I patted it down a little bit, it looked better, but I feel like it's too much of a hassle actually for something that should be easy to wear. I feel like a liquid lip balm should be easy to pop on without a mirror, without any hassle, without anything to worry about, and this doesn't do that. So it's like I could make it work, but is it really worth it? To me, so I was just very rudely cut off by my camera. Had to take some files off the card. Okay, so what was I saying? I feel like I could make this work. And then it isn't bad, but it just feels like too much of a hassle to try and make this work, especially because I'm someone with quite an extensive makeup collection. I have quite a few lip oils and hydrating lip products. I don't really need this in my life. If it would have been perfect, I would have loved it probably. I would have worn it so many times. The idea of a liquid lip balm just really speaks to me. But this, I feel like it is just too pigmented. It just looks weird. It bunches up. Maybe the other shades are better, but this shade doesn't work. If it was less pigmented, I think it could have been nice. It could have been nice. So 2 more lip products by Catrice. First up, the Catrice Melting Kiss Gloss Stick in 020. So this is not actually to me what it says it is. I was expecting this to be actually very shiny, like a gloss in a stick, because it says Melting Kiss Gloss Stick. But it is actually just a tinted lip balm. It's not that pigmented. It doesn't do that much. It's not life-changing. It's not amazing. It is just a balm with a little bit of a tint in it. There's just not enough shine for me to warrant this name, Melting Kiss Gloss Stick. It's not what it is. I feel like the gel plumping lipsticks are more of a gloss stick. They are much more glossy, much more shiny. The colors just pop more on the lips. This to me was quite a disappointment. I wasn't happy with it. This one, the Catrice, what's it called? Shine Balm 030 lipstick. Same story, even though I like this one a little bit better. Maybe it's the shade, I don't know. But this is supposed to be a shiny lipstick, a very shiny lipstick. And when I apply this, it is just like a tinted balm. Very little pigmentation. There's a little bit of a shine to it, but I would say it's more of a satin shine almost than an actual shiny gloss shine. So also a little bit disappointed with this. I can make it work if I kind of like try to look at it in a different way, kind of adapt my way of seeing this product and actually am like, okay, this is a tinted balm. Then I like this, and I actually like this. This one, still not sure about it. It is very subtle, but this one as a tinted balm, it's nice, but it's not a shine balm lipstick. Maybe the other shades are better, but this one I don't really like. So all in all, there are a few products here that I really enjoy. There are a few that are just okay, and a few that I would say maybe stay away from that because it's not what you think it is. And that is actually gonna be everything for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe. And then I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye.